There is a rare, visceral moment most people have experienced without really noticing it. You're working or reading, and suddenly the noise disappears. Distractions stop pulling at you. Time distorts. Your thoughts become sharp, fast, and effortless. This state is an exception to modern reality. Modern life trains the mind to scatter itself across notifications, open browser tabs, and short videos, tiny bursts of stimulation that arrive every few seconds. Most of us spend our lives fighting our own attention because we rarely acknowledge that the brain was never designed for constant interruption. When you switch tasks, your brain cannot instantly drop the previous context. It leaves behind what researchers call attention residue, a fragment of your mental processing power that remains stuck on the last thing you were doing. This residue compounds with every interruption. Constantly reorienting the brain increases mental fatigue and reduces your ability to filter out irrelevant information. It is like trying to sprint while changing direction every 5 seconds. The constant resets leave the mind busy but unable to go deep. When concentration feels uncomfortable and silence feels restless, it isn't a failure of discipline. It is a sign that the brain has successfully adapted to an environment of constant interruption. Brain scans of intense focus reveal a state of high coordination and lowered overall activity. During these moments, the brain reaches a level of efficiency where mental noise simply fades away. As deep focus takes hold, irrelevant background activity drops away. Different regions of the brain begin coordinating more effectively, while the networks associated with wandering thoughts power down. This shift includes the networks tied to self-criticism. The internal commentary that usually monitors your performance goes dark, effectively ending the brain's internal arguments. This capacity for sustained, quiet focus was essential for most of human history. Survival tasks, tracking animals, building complex tools, or navigating landscapes required the brain to hold a single thread of attention for hours without a reset. Pure focus is the removal of mental friction. When the noise fades, action and awareness begin to merge. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi identified this state of immersion as flow. He found that people reported their highest levels of fulfillment not during relaxation, but while fully engaged in a meaningful challenge. Triggering this state requires a specific balance between two variables. We plot the difficulty of a challenge on the vertical axis and the individual skill level on the horizontal axis. If a task is too easy for your skill level, the brain gets bored. If the task is too difficult, the resulting stress overwhelms your ability to concentrate. Focus becomes effortless within this narrow psychological zone. The challenge is difficult enough to demand your full attention, but not so punishing that it induces panic. In this zone, the brain stops monitoring time and releases dopamine and norepinephrine to sharpen motivation. Because the brain rewards this kind of coherence, deeply demanding work can leave you feeling energized afterward. This quiet state changes the quality of thought itself. Uninterrupted focus provides the necessary time for the brain to connect distant ideas, encode complex memories, and solve problems without a constant reset. Many people treat focus as a fixed personality trait, as if you are either born disciplined or doomed to a life of distraction. But the brain is governed by neuroplasticity. It physically adapts to whatever state it is forced into most frequently. Just as constant task switching strengthens the pathways for distraction, sustained concentration strengthens the networks for depth. Attention is a trainable physical asset. Retraining these pathways involves practicing small, often uncomfortable habits. Sitting with boredom instead of escaping, working without notifications, finishing one task before jumping. These habits retrain the brain to tolerate depth. Over time, the initial friction of focusing fades, and reaching a state of clarity starts feeling natural. By deliberately removing the noise and moving through the initial discomfort, we allow the mind to reach a state of total alignment. When attention, action, and awareness finally move in the same direction, the brain becomes exactly what it is capable of being: focused, clear,